Stratvie, friends in Russia, friends all over the world. My name is Pepe Escobar. I am a geopolitical analyst and author. We are here in Moscow in collaboration with our friends from TASS in a very snowy day and welcoming a very, very special guest, Andrei Viktorovich Gurulyov, which we can say is one of the top military affairs specialists in Russia. It's an extreme honor to have you, Andrei, talking to us of the National Unity Club, let's say the international branch of the National Unity Club. Welcome to our show. Thank you, Andrei. Andrei, I like to make this clear, especially for our international friends. So you consider the correct decision to slow down Telegram, and of course, okay, let's try to migrate from Telegram to Max. But the absolute majority of Russians use Telegram for their everyday lives. They will be affected.
Of course I would. It's already influenced. I know that now it's this topic will go into the past. People get upset, yes, because our social messenger does not have a functionality. We have to bring our own product to perfectnness. Once it's done, then. But what we say is this: if the fifth column is stepping out, then we do have the means to put down the Telegram. So you understand, everybody, our special forces are reading over Telegram. It's not a super duper machine as we think that, believe me, we go through it. That's the truth. So here, our management will take the adequate and right decision about the messengers, and the main thing is that we have to bring our product to the state of perspective, and then nobody would choose anything else.
Picking up on BRICS again, and something that Mr. Lukashenko, he was probably the first one to say it. Lukashenko, I think over a year ago, he said that in the near future, BRICS and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the SCO, they will probably merge. If that happens, let's say in the next 3 to 4 years, would you consider this BRICS SCO merge necessary for it to have a military component as well?
So I don't want to talk about things like 3-4 years. I don't see that there's some misunderstanding that Shanghai Cooperation automatically would go into BRICS and would be effective as it is effective today. I don't know about the military union. First of all, we have to take care of economy and politics. Of course, if there would be a high situation, a heated situation, then yes, we can talk about it. But it's not a public topic. It's a topic behind the closed doors. And BRICS also has very diversified realities. We know about Chinese partners. We understand their desires and objectives. We have great relationship with India and China. We have great partnership and strategic partnership with them. They will still buy Russian oil. And we help each other, to say the least, to help each other in the military complex. For us, it's the main thing is what? If we take just the military union, weapons from Russia and China, maybe from North Korea, it still is Russian in the beginning, The biggest problem is in a system of management with the different languages, because the Western worlds, they all speak English. In Russia, we have some people speak English, but it's not popular. With AI going, it could be another, translation, we could easy talk. But the main thing is a united system of management, not really the languages. It's not the army, it's not the weapons. This is a global question. So step by step, we see that Starlink mask is a military system, not a civil, not for civilians. We realize it. Starlink, it's managing the weapons, but the president has put an objective for us, a goal that by 2027 we're gonna have a group of satellites. We're working on it, and they will take over the space. We have our own system. We're not tied to the old American or European types of solution of these problems. If we integrate it into BRICS as a military part, then I think it would be quite a powerful point. We have great satellites in Russia, in China, so please understand one thing clear. Remember about the 20 years of turbulence? I think that the time and the events, they will push not 3-4 years, but a lot faster, because today the events grow so fast that we almost lose a track of time. We're at the edge of the World War III. Pakistan, East, Venezuela, Russia, here, everywhere. The world is on fire, and Americans trying to blow that fire. They will try to do anything possible with their money to invest that money into this problem.
Would you say that within the Ministry of Defense, and of course linked to the Security Council in Russia, is there an understanding that the war, the hybrid war, which is a variation of the Cold War of the Americans against Russia and China, it will not stop whatever happens in Ukraine? So Russia has to be prepared?
You know, Russia is such a country that all its history Russia has to be prepared all the time. There is no generation that we had no war, even after the World War II. After it was done, there was a North Korea, they had Arab-Israel wars, Vietnam, and it's not a secret that our military personnel participated in Afghanistan. Then it disrupted the system with the USSR. There was an internal war in the Chechen war. So we don't have a generation that would not protect the motherland. War with Georgia, it was a small one, short one, but we still had it. So Russia has to be always military-wise ready. And it's huge territory that we have. It opens up the doors. You know, there are threats coming in. I was saying that 3-4 years ago that in Arctic we're gonna have a military conflict with Chinese, with Americans, with Europeans. Northern way, that's the only way that Americans don't control. That's our responsibility. They don't like it. They try to get into it. The next moment is, you know, South Caucasus. It's a very sharp problem that we have now. What happened with Armenia and Azerbaijan, we watch over that also. And today all these processes that take place in Armenia. We have a clear situation with Ukraine, nothing to say there. And now Taiwan problem. Because Taiwan gets on fire, then China, United States, North and South Korea, Russia, everybody would be involved again. It's going to be a great and more serious scale than what we have here. And you can look into it. So all those threats has to be in our mind, and we have to analyze and make correct decisions. Just recently, the president's helper Mr. Patrushev, he said that we have to have the Navy. That right now is still in the potential. But we do have the potential to put it all together. So now there's a decision taken that we're going to have a great Navy. We will build it. We will put it together. And I think it won't take a quick time. It will take a couple of dozens of years. But we will have an ocean Navy in Russia.
Is it a vulnerability for Russia at the moment, the Russian Navy, considering that the Americans, they will continue with their sanction policy against what they call the Russian shadow fleet, which basically is a declaration of war on the seas, not only Baltic, Black Sea, but everywhere. So, and this brings us to something even more ominous. Oreshnik was launched twice, if I'm not mistaken, more as a message to NATO and the Americans. And it seems that they still don't understand it. So what's going to be the next stage?
Oreshnik, yes, they launched, but they launched it as in a very light way. If it would be nuclear Oreshnik, it would be a very serious situation. They have to understand that Russia has created such conditions. It's not a secret to anybody. You can put down with sanctions as much as you want to, but the war has changed. War is changing because the equipment changes, because everything changes. And not to see it, it's kind of dumb and silly. And when we say, okay, guys, you will be pirates, but now we have drones, now we have ships without the humans on it. Whose drone is it? Where do they come from? Who launched them? You can paralyze it in a snap of a finger, anything that moves in the world. Do you want that to happen? Who's gonna get hurt? Us? We are on land. We have a railroad. We can cover the supply. What are the other countries will do? That's the problem. And I will tell you that you can start something very quickly. 4 or 5 gigantic oil tankers and 3 or 4 gas ships. If if something goes under, even U.S. does not have enough strength to protect it. We have at a cornerstone the hypersonic rockets from minimum distance to strategic distance, and Russia is the leader in the production of those rockets. If we speak about Iran, if Iran would be on fire, not one navy can come close. Americans understand that very clear. That navy is a very great target. You can't miss that target, okay? So you can blow up this armade and influence United States that way. So we have to clearly understand that we are ready for that. And a president mentioned, they said, if you want to fight us, we are ready. Just don't get upset afterwards. So any patience has a limit to it. It does have a limit. If the limit comes in, that will take such measures.
Well, we are approaching the end of our fascinating conversation. I have a question for you, not only as a top military expert, but your feeling as a Russian patriot, of course, and devoted to your life, professional life, to the motherland. Do you think that the price that Russia is paying in terms of 15,000, 16,000 sanctions is too high? And if it's not, this links to what the American mainstream media is trying to project now, which is their projection. They try to convince Americans that Putin is willing to make a deal with Trump, sacrificing the principles of the SVO. Like, if Putin is telling Trump, okay, if you eliminate all the sanctions, I'll give you free access to the Russian economy. This is what they are saying. Obviously, this is not true. But the problem is there are many people in Russia who actually believe in that. So this is also my question to you.
You have to be either crazy or an idiot that to eat what is given to you on a plate. No, sanctions will never be taken off Russia. They never took them off. They never will. So you don't have to be naive. You have to clearly understand that the war will continue. America was never our friend. It's the greatest enemy, greatest opponent of Russia. So we have the tactics. We had periods where we had a mutual partnership. We had projects. We had success. Quite serious projects. When the Soviet Union was just standing up, where it was a great crisis in America, a lot of Russian projects gave them money. We took American cars, American railroads. We were buying the machinery, equipment. And during the Stalin's times, they took over our industry. And this is why in World War II we won. Because of those routes, we have points of agreement. There are some points that are missing. It just happens all the time. So don't think that we will finish SVO and then they'll take off the sanctions. They'll take off some, they'll put on new. It's, if it's not profitable to them, they're not going to take it off. If they needed the uranium, they'll buy it anyways, without or with sanctions. So this are the key moments we have to look at. They will never ever take all the sanctions off Russia. So just don't try to lie to yourself. Russia will be alone in this problem. And the Russian president speaks about development of the industry, culture, education. These moments will be the key ones that our country will have to think of. They keep going, somewhere good, somewhere not so good. So these are the key moments, and the hope that they'll take off sanctions and some kind of price, it's stupidity.
Yeah, very realistic. Okay, probably our last question, which is also a little bit personal, if you allow me. As a military man and as a Russian patriot as well, what your gut feeling tells you how Russian society was changed after 4 years of the SVO, for the better especially? Which are the main points in your opinion?
If there would be no SVO, we would probably have to come up with it, because Russia has really shaken some things. A simple man, a simple woman, that we are, the president have spoken about those simple people. We have determined that we are lost our traditional values, and the president spoke about that. That's number one problem. It's elementary, about love, marriage, about having kids in the family, about respect to the elders. These are traditional values that we had, about faith. We have a lot of confessions in our countries. Muslims, Buddhists, Christians. About faith, because Europe lost faith. So that's what we talk about. That's the main thing. And it's not just for nothing that our young men giving their lives at SVO serve with dignity. You have to work for yourself, work for country, work for your kids, for your relatives, live a normal life and not just burn it up. So these are key and serious points for us. So Russia positions itself in a different way. Of course, we have a capital in Moscow. You might not see it here, but if you go deeper there in a small village, in a small town, You can see that. You'll see how people, you go to the like center or like a city hall, they help each other. They're making the candles, they helping the military. They don't get paid, they help the country. So this is the whole I'm from the Baikal region. It's a Mongolia and China border. I just flown from there from 4 days ago. We don't have one village there where everybody helps the military operation. Everybody helps. This is what has changed in the country. Our spirit has changed. The motherland became more important to us, and those that didn't care, that didn't value, they left. Okay, let them go. Since they left, we let them go.
So Russia recovered a community spirit on a national level.
We have over like 180 or 190 nationalities. We understand that Russians are the core. And one Dagestan poet said following thing. He said, I'm Avarian in Dagestan, and I am Dagestan in Moscow, but in Paris, I am Russian. Everybody has a Russian mentality.
Thank you so much, Andrei, for this fascinating conversation.
Вам спасибо, что пригласили.
Спасибо большое. Thank you, all of you, friends of the international branch of the National Unity Club. And it has been a pleasure to be with Andrei today in Moscow. Thank you very much.
Спасибо большое.